Hey everybody, it's Zach. Welcome to the homestead. Hey, listen, I'm going to do a video today on silver. Ebola, silver, and you. You know, there is a lot of talk about Ebola right now, and people are just going crazy, and I think it is reason to be concerned. I've looked at some of the stats, and, it is alarming, and it is in this country now. And so, what do? People are starting to panic. Parents are pulling their children out of schools. People are very concerned about this, and they're pulling their kids out. So, first off, before I get into any more of this, people who've been watching my channel or know me or have known me for any length of time know that I am a big proponent of silver and colloidal silver. And there are people out there right now in mainstream medical academia who are bad-mouthing colloidal silver. There are people who have come out from the CDC and other government agencies who are bad-mouthing silver because they've heard the silver talk, and people are saying silver, colloidal silver, to help fight Ebola. And they're coming out and they're demonizing silver. So before I begin, let's just go through the stats on silver. What is silver? I mean, folks, there is a huge defense, but people don't know it. So here, and people don't link to the documentation that backs up the use of colloidal silver against viruses, bacteria, and fungus. And so I need to do that right now. Folks, right off the bat, here we go. In 2005, there was a study, and I'm going to put, before I begin here, I'm going to put all the links of these studies in the description of this video. So if you're watching this video on Facebook, you need to go to my YouTube channel and watch the video there, and then click on the description, the about, and you'll see the links that I'm giving you for these studies that I'm about to show you, so that you can find them as well, okay? So you can read them for yourself. Right off the bat, 2005, there was a study done in vitro of silver, colloidal silver, nano silver against HIV in vitro. Okay, and it basically kept it from replicating. It kept it from attaching to cell walls and destroying those cells. There's a 2005 study. In 2010, another study was done. Same thing, same result. Silver blocked HIV from attaching itself to cells and replicating and destroying the cellular structure of those cells. Very simple. And the studies are linked below this video. I'm going to link those studies. It gives you the complete abstract and the study that was published, and allows you to download those PDFs and view them for yourself. People aren't talking about this. Silver beats HIV, which is a virus. Okay? Right there. So people, Ebola is a virus. And so people who are saying that, oh, Ebola, silver is not going to help you with this, this is some kind of quackery. Folks, the evidence is overwhelming. Let's continue. Smallpox virus. Smallpox virus, and I'm going to give you the link to the article, but the link I'm giving you makes you pay to actually view the article, because so many people are requesting this article that whoever owns the study has now put it behind a wall, so you have to pay to get it. But it is there. The link is there below this video, where you can go and see how silver beat the smallpox virus. That's important. That's important to know. There's another one here, and there's a couple of links there. There's another one where staph infection. Staph is a bacterial infection. And staph, there's different types of staph infection, and there's different types of studies where silver has beat staph. Again, there's the evidence. I'm going to give you the links to the PDFs right there below the video. And if you go and if you do just a little amount of research, you'll find all kinds of studies published where silver, colloidal silver, and different types of silver, silver nitrate, which I wouldn't recommend, but there's different types of silver that you can build, have defeated viruses, bacteria, and fungus. Over and over again, the studies show this, and over again, it shows that it's not only scientific research teams in our country and in other countries who are performing these studies and tests, and then they're publishing the data online. So it's not just, it's all over the world that people are discovering silver is important. And there's one thing to do, there's one thing to say about studies. You can say study this, study that, and show any type of stats, and people can make, oh, well, Zach, that's in vitro. That's not the human body. Well, in vitro is supposed to simulate what goes on inside the human body. And so people say, oh, well, that's just in vitro. Well, that's the whole point of in vitro, or it's supposed to simulate what could happen inside the body. And so they'll make all kinds of excuses that you can see out there. Folks, silver is important. There is amazing properties in silver. And, you've ever heard that term, raised with a silver spoon in your mouth? It's because people who were raised, the richer upper class people of society who were raised with a silver spoon in their mouth, they were much healthier. There was something to that. There's something to that saying. And so today, when silver is so abundant and so cheap that anyone can get it, right now an ounce of silver will cost you, I think, $17. I think is the market price right now. And you'll probably pay around $20 an ounce for the silver after market value, the above, a couple dollars above the base price. But $20 for an ounce of silver, that's great compared to the historical value of silver just even 100 years ago. The average person couldn't afford that kind of silver just to use it for all the things that we use silver for today. Let me give you some more examples. See, it's one thing for people to do studies and say all this stuff about silver. It's a completely other thing to see manufacturers and corporations, giant mega corporations, and even small corporations putting their money where their mouth is. And what do I mean by that? Check this out. Lance Armstrong, the guy who won the Tour de France a million times over and probably used drugs to win. There's all kinds of speculation about that. But his cycling suit that he used during the Tour de France was impregnated with silver. Why? Because silver is very well known to be antibacterial and antifungal. And if you're wearing a suit for however many hours or days that you're going to be sweating in constantly, nonstop, you want something to be able to fight the bacteria and fungus that could grow during that time period. And so Lance Armstrong, his cycling suit was impregnated with silver and silver threading. Right there. I mean, you can find the stories online about that. They're making silver socks, silver shirts today. All kinds of manufacturers. If you go to a high-end sporting goods store like Dick's Sporting Goods or Sports Authority or some of these other sporting goods stores out there, you will find products, t-shirts, socks, things like that where people sweat in, undershirts. People are known to sweat in, those things are being impregnated with silver. You're going to pay a premium for those products, but they are doing that. They're putting silver threading and they're impregnating these items with silver. Why? Antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral. Another one, Johnson & Johnson, a major corporation, has come out with a branding called Silver Cell. It's the Silver Cell brand. And they are releasing lots of products that have silver incorporated with those products. Now, think about this. This is a major corporation. These major corporations have huge R&D departments, R&D divisions that they use to, spend millions and millions of dollars on research and development. That's what R&D stands for, research and development. Do you think a major corporation like Johnson & Johnson is going to spend millions, if not more, on research and development on silver and come out with something that has really no effect on the things they're trying to prevent, like bacteria and fungus in their products? No, they're going to do. They spent millions of dollars developing and researching this and came to the same conclusions that many of these scientists who have published research studies on silver have come to. They come to the same conclusion: silver beats viruses, bacteria, and fungus. And they've come out with products. There's Johnson & Johnson's Silver Cell brand. Magnum boots. And if you know anything about boots, I was in the military, and people who wear boots a lot, people who know boots know that Magnum boots is one of the top brands out there when it comes to boot selection. And there are a lot of other boot brands, but Magnum Boots is coming out with boots that are impregnated with silver to prevent bacteria and fungus inside their boots. You wear a boot over and over again, and before long, if you don't keep your feet well and keep your feet, your socks changed and things like that, you can develop athlete's foot and different types of fungus that will basically, it doesn't matter how many times you wash your feet or change your socks, the fungus is now growing inside the shoe or the boot. And so every time you wash your feet or change your socks, you're now putting your foot back into a boot that has fungus growing in it, fungus spores growing in it, and bacteria growing in it, and so it just spreads to your foot again. And so the thing that they've come up with, spending probably lots of money on research and development, is that silver will stop that. Silver will prevent the fungus and bacteria growing inside the boot. And so Magnum Boots has come up with a brand of boots that have silver impregnated with it. They're putting this in everything, folks. Even women's bras. Women's bras, women sweat a lot, in their chest line during hot days when they're wearing bras. And so manufacturers of women's bras are putting silver-lined bra, put silver threads and impregnating it with silver to keep the fungus and bacteria from getting out of control inside of a bra. Amazing. They're using this with everything. You look at all this stuff and you can't say, oh, well, there's nothing to this silver thing. Colloidal silver, that's just the blue man guy. You know, that there's no bearing on medical science whatsoever. Colloidal silver doesn't do anything. Well, you know, industry says otherwise. Scientific studies say otherwise. And so what they're doing right now is they're trying to poo-poo, you know, what will actually work, because drug companies, pharmaceuticals, and our government, which is basically all of the heads of these government agencies, are all chaired and staffed by former pharmaceutical companies that know that their money is in drug development. And so they don't want you using something that's natural that they can't patent. You can't patent a mineral that's found in the earth. I mean, that's what silver is. And so they're understanding that, you know, we can't monetize that, so we're going to poo-poo it and tell people it's just a bunch of quackery, and they won't use it. Instead, they'll look at our vaccine that we're going to come up with here at the last minute and save everybody with. Oh, by the way, it's only $100, you know, per vaccine. Samsung is releasing silver in all of its upcoming refrigerators and washer machines. Samsung. It's called I think it's called it's called Silver Nano, or Nano Silver. It's a Samsung brand. Samsung, again, another major mega corporation that has discovered, this is back in 2005 they discovered this, but you can go online and find their website now that deals specifically in Samsung products, dishwashers, refrigerators, things like that, and washer machines that are impregnated with silver. Why? Have you ever opened a refrigerator door and seen on the rubber lining on the inside of the door bacteria and fungus growing in there? Yeah, sure you have. Yeah, it's just kind of, moisture gathers in those places. There are certain things where, you know, places on a washing machine or on a refrigerator where moisture gathers and you just can create fungus and bacteria. And so what they've decided to do, based on, I'm sure, lots of research and development, is to impregnate those areas with silver, and it prevents fungus and bacterial growth. Samsung, a major corporation. See, there's a difference between speculating on something and saying something doesn't work, but then going to the other side and seeing where people are actually if people are putting their money where their mouth is. And corporations are putting their money where their mouth is, and they're developing silver products because they know their research and development teams have said silver will work. Because they want people to buy their products. I'd rather have a refrigerator that can't form fungus and bacteria on that lining, that door lining, rather than one that's not. And so if that's a selling point for Samsung, Samsung will develop that and use it as a way to as a sell point to their customers. Folks, it's not rocket science. Silver has been used for millennia as a way to prevent bacteria, fungus, and viruses. So, you know, we've gotten that out of the way. Here, what we do, a lot of people have asked me, since we came out with an article on an American homestead about silver and silver production. We produce our own silver here. We have a product called silverlungs.com. You can find it at silverlungs.com. It's called the Silver Lung System, and it generates silver for you. Now, it's very expensive. It's pricey. I think it's like $400 some. I'm not sure what the last price is on this thing. But we have the ability to inhale the silver as a nebulizer and incorporate it directly into our lungs, which puts it in the bloodstream all that much faster. You can drink it, obviously. You can use it as topical. We've used it for all of these purposes before. We generate our own silver here on the homestead, and we use it. I even generate batches of this, and I put it in my animals' water, my sheep water. So my sheep have a water tank, and every time we fill that water tank, I create a batch of silver, and I pour that colloidal silver inside of their water tank, and it keeps my sheep healthy. It keeps the coccidiosis and things like that from developing inside the water, and so that keeps my sheep healthy and growing. And so, you know, people have asked me, what do I do? That's what I do. Nano silver, or colloidal silver, and silver ions that you can create yourself with the Silver Lung system. I'm not a paid spokesman for that company. They're not paying me anything, or I'm not getting any kickbacks for doing this. But that's what I use. People have asked me, so that's what I use. It's silverlungs.com. You can check out that system online. I'll even leave a link to the description in the description below. You can check it out. And we're using that for everything around here, just all kinds of different stuff. It keeps us healthy. Now, one of the other things we're doing, there's a good amount of research, and I'll see if I can link to that too at the bottom, is that vitamin D, a good amount of vitamin D3 in your system, in your body, will ward off viruses and prevent them from attaching to your system and growing and replicating in your body. And so there's a good amount of research for that. And so what I would recommend is vitamin D3. It is you can find it all kinds of places online, and I would recommend that. I would recommend about a dosage of if around 5,000 UI if possible, and 10,000 if Ebola really takes off and I'm really going to amp up the protection in my body and the bodies of my family members. it's going to be about 10,000 UI, and it'll take about, I guess, 4 capsules a day. 4 capsules a day. And so I would do that as well. It showed that there's proven research, I think, out there when it comes to flu, and that is a virus, and this Ebola is a virus, and so that's what I would do also. The other thing you can do, alcohol does not kill the Ebola virus. Just doesn't. In most hospitals, I have worked in a hospital before. Every time you exit a room, there's a little spray canister. You put your hand under it, and it sprays a little foam, alcohol foam, and you rub that. Alcohol does not kill the Ebola virus, and that's one of the reasons that people have. A guy I know who's a doctor has told a good friend of mine that I communicate with on a regular basis. This guy who was a doctor, his father was one of the people who discovered the Ebola virus in the 1960s. And he says this is a clear indication that this virus is engineered, is human engineered, that because alcohol will not destroy it. This variety of Ebola. And so I think that it's a good indication that this thing is engineered, and it's one of the ways he has said that it shows, because alcohol will not kill it. And so what we have decided to do, and what he has recommended that we do, is that we use bleach. You can go to a store, go to Walmart, and find bleach wipes. If you find bleach, you can get these bleach wipes that come in little tubes and things like that. Go to the store, get some of those. We've already got some of those in our home. And if this thing really takes off, every time we go out to the store, or, we come back, we'll be wiping things down. People who come over to visit, we'll be wiping the door handles down and just cleaning generally with bleach. Bleach will kill this thing. Alcohol will not, which, again, this is what this individual says, that shows that it's engineered, human engineered. So anyway, I just want to give out that information. People are asking me all kinds of questions about what I do, so that's what I do. Colloidal silver, bleach wipes, vitamin D3, that's my defense on Ebola. If I put a lot of confidence in that, and I'm not going to take some kind of emergency miracle vaccine that they come out with saying that this is going to cure you. My family does not believe in vaccines. We don't do vaccines here on the homestead, and there's a lot greater methods of battling these viruses and sicknesses that are out there, rather than just going with what the medical establishment tells you that you need to go with. Okay? All right, so there's my answer on colloidal silver. There's my defense on colloidal silver. I would advise that you get some. All right, I'll talk to you later. See you next time on the homestead. If you enjoyed this video, please click the thumbs up button below the video. It really makes creating these videos worthwhile. If you want to make sure to never miss a new video, be sure to click the subscribe button. Now you can get your homesteading questions answered. Visit us at our contact page on anamericanhomestead.com and send us your questions. Maybe we'll pick your question for a future video or article on our website.